Why should Christians believe in Santa Claus?
I'll tell you why you should. Actually, I've got multiple reasons. It's going to be so many that it'd be way more than a simple YouTube video. So we'll just start with number one. Santa Claus is Saint Nicholas. He's a saint. He's a member of our church. He is already with us in heaven, and he's with us here. And so, of course, we believe in Santa Claus. And don't give me this, oh, but he's dead. Because what did Jesus say to the Jews when they came at him? I'm not the God of the dead, but of the living. So, of course, he's still living. And if the saint's not living, then what hope have any of us to try to be a saint? So, of course, you got to believe in Santa Claus because he is still here and he is still with us, whether you like it or not.
The parable.
Exactly. The parable of jolly old Saint Nick. You see, I'm in a religion that was founded by this guy a couple thousand years ago who taught in parables. And the parables always had a deep truth. So when you think of the whole story, there's a man up here on the top of the world, and he comes all the way down to the roof. He comes down to where the people are, into the house. He goes to the tree. He leaves a free gift at the tree. But before he gets to the tree, what does he do? He has a last little meal of milk and cookies, depending on what country you're in. Maybe it's meat and brandy, maybe it's wine and cheese. But either way, he has a last meal. He leaves a free gift at the tree, and then he goes right back down to the tomb, or the chimney, or the fireplace, which it looks very similar. And then straight back up, there he goes, surrounded by all the little beasts around the throne, or the 8 little reindeer around the sleigh. So when we look at this story, what does this story remind anybody of? Does it remind you of anybody? It definitely reminds me of somebody. And the whole office of a bishop, of a Christian bishop, which obviously we look at Santa Claus, he looks like a bishop. And so we have the bishop, and he's wearing all red, just like all Christian bishops wear around Christmas, around Nativity. They always wear the red. So when you look at him, there's not really, you can tell exactly who or what is. And what is a bishop supposed to do? A bishop is not Christ, but he's supposed to point us toward Christ. He's supposed to be a Christ-like figure for all of us to follow. And he's supposed to bring joy. He's supposed to bring happiness. But he also, you have to tell him, have you been naughty or have you been nice? And if you've been naughty, you'll get naughty things. If you've been nice, you'll get nice things. Just like a real bishop will do for his flock. And so we have the bishop. He comes at Christmas. And there's always a promise of a second coming. He'll be back again next year.
The saints.
So, the saints. Wondrous does the Lord work through his saints. And what did Christ say? He said, greater works you will do after I leave. The raising the dead, the healing the sick. And if you ever hear the story of good old Saint Nicholas, he did raise the dead. He did rescue the people at sea. He did rescue the children. He did save the daughters by paying the dowry in the stockings. So everything about the guy is something we should emulate because we're all called to be saints. We're all called to be Santa Claus. That's why a lot of us, we go to the stores and go to these stores and buy things so that we can also emulate the good old Saint Nicholas's behaviors because we too want to be Christ-like. We too want to attain to the kingdom of heaven. We too want to get our ticket punched to the North Pole at the hour of our death and rest on the top of the world, surrounded by the saints. So this is why it's the most Christian thing ever to believe in Santa Claus. And when I hear a Christian come out and say, oh, you shouldn't talk about Santa Claus. Santa Claus isn't real. I have to wonder, where have you been for the last several thousand years? I mean, this man he's a bedrock of the church. He's the one that slapped the first Jehovah Witness at the Arius, at the Council of Nicaea. He's the one that did all these things. So yes, he was historically a real person. And because I believe in the perseverance of the saints, and because I believe the Bible, and I know where the saints go, and that they're interceding before the throne for us, as it says in Revelation, and I believe what the psalmist says, that God does work wonders through his saints. Everything about him is Christian. How can you call yourself a Christian and not believe in jolly old Saint Nick? I'll never know.
People who don't believe in Santa Claus? Really?
So we got all these folks that don't believe in Santa Claus. You got all these new strange, like, Protestants that are saying, oh no, he was real once, but he's dead now. So we got the Catholics. And like within the last like century, that one of the popes like demoted him. He's not even a saint anymore. Goofy, and then you look at the others, so this is the kind of people who don't believe in Santa Claus. I mean, you don't want to get tied in with that, with these atheists, with these like wankers from all over. I mean, it's just distasteful. So, I mean, that is a final thought. Yes, you must believe. We must believe. We must always have faith in the unseen. And two, sometimes you know best by looking at the enemies and seeing what they're doing. So look at the enemies of Santa Claus. You don't want to be like that. No way. And I guarantee all these ninnies out here saying that if you tell your kids Santa Claus and later they won't believe in Jesus, I guarantee 99% of them grew up believing in Santa Claus and they still believe in Jesus. So it's a moot point.
You better not shout, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town, whether you believe it or not.